Hello everyone, I'm Emmanuel Acheampong and I'm excited to present to you Robo Makeup Artist, roboMUA, and the awesome work we are doing to build next-gen beauty retail with artificial intelligence. Human skin is incredibly complex. In addition to the varying skin shade ranges that there are issues like sensitivity and a host of permutations and combinations that make each individual's skin very unique to them. Finding the right product for your skin is not just a matter of aesthetics. In fact, in some situations, there can be very dire consequences, including breakouts. However, with the beauty industry being such a behemoth industry and over 10,000 new products being introduced, navigating this industry to find the right products for yourself is incredibly difficult. In fact, it's so difficult it's no longer a beauty issue, but a data issue. And this issue has become more prominent with beauty consumers shifting to buying products online, requiring personalized services for the purchases they make. The beauty brands increasing inclusivity to ensure that they make products for all skin tones, and also the rise of indie brands, which are small scale brands, small scale mom and pop shops that sell beauty products. Here at roboMUA, our mission is quite simple. We are leveraging the power of technology such as artificial intelligence and augmented reality to help our users who have over 50 different skin tones find the right products for themselves. Currently, users can simply upload an image or take a selfie, and our algorithms can give them recommendations for foundations, skin tints, and concealers in a matter of seconds. There's a virtual try-on feature they can use, but there's also tutorials and also a way to buy the products right there and then. Since the launch of our proof of concept, roboMUA has been able to attract over 130,000 image uploads from people from 110 countries. Quite unfortunately, we are not the only ones who have identified this unique opportunity in the marketplace. There are companies like Modiface that has been acquired by L'Oreal, AlgoFace, and even Instagram that are exploring that intersection of tech and beauty. But we are the only ones who have AI algorithms that provide recommendations. And we have an inclusive shade range. We have indie beauty brands in addition to augmented reality and then beauty tutorials.
Now, the idea for roboMUA started when I saw a YouTube tutorial on YouTube where the makeup artist was trying to figure out which foundation will match the skin tone and was struggling. I went into a rabbit hole and saw more and more people complaining about the same issues, being able to find the right products for themselves because of the numerous products that were available to them. Coming from an AI background, I realized this is not just a beauty problem, but it could be a data problem that AI, particularly computer vision, can help solve. So in October of 2019, during a Facebook hackathon, having very little confidence, I pitched this idea of how we can leverage computer vision in the beauty industry to help people find the right products. I didn't think anything of it, but fortunately, we were able to gather a team of people around this idea, and that's how we built the very first prototype of Robo Makeup Artist. Over the course of this weekend, we created our own data sets, with 5 image labels: dark skin, medium skin, porcelain skin, fair skin, and olive skin. And then we use images, publicly available images of celebrity to fill these labels. We then built our own PyTorch model, trained the model, and got around 60% accuracy on our model. We tested it out on a couple of people, and we were able to fairly see, fairly validate that, hey, this idea is one that would potentially work. Unfortunately, we did not win the competition, but then due to the reception of the people around us, realized that this might be a good idea to keep furthering. As a result, we kept sharing it with people in our circles who were interested in makeup to see if they would like to use this idea in the future. They loved it so much and started spreading the word of it to their other friends and to the other circles and to the other circles. So by virtue of word of mouth, roboMUA kept growing in news and growing. And then we started sharing on social media platforms, on LinkedIn in particular. We're able to gather enough people to test out our product, give us the feedback we need in order to keep making this product better and better, helping us try to find product market fit. Thankfully, we got so much good feedback that we decided to expand our data images labels from 5 to 50 based on Fenty Beauty's skin shade range. And that is what I believe catapulted roboMUA from just a simple project that was built at a hackathon to what a potential business it could be. From the technical perspective, since Robo Makeup Artist is an AI product, we leverage the exact same principles that people in industry and in academia use to bring AI products into public use. To do this, we started by researching the problem to make sure that we're building things that people actually needed instead of just an idea for the sake of an idea. This research included watching a lot of YouTube tutorials from beauty influencers, like I mentioned earlier, but also a lot of one-on-one interviews with makeup enthusiasts and artists who are interested in exploring how technology can be leveraged to make their processes better. This research was what gave us a lot of insights into what kind of product we should build, what kind of data we should collect, how we should be bringing in the notion of bias into our data set to make sure that our model works for multiple skin tones. And as a result of that, I believe it really helped us build a successful proof of concept and prototype that our users enjoyed using and sharing with their friends. We're able to leverage the insights and the knowledge we gained from the research and the interviews we did to create a roadmap of the features and things that we knew our users were going to love and enjoy. And so slowly by slowly, we started putting things in place and giving a timeline to those specific goals and features for the product. This enabled us to build gradually and steadily instead of being overwhelmed, because building an AI product for a very small technical team can be very intense, but then the product roadmap was able to help us. With the product roadmap in place, we set out to build our own custom data set with 50 image labels using Fenty Beauty's shade range as a guide, which happened to be the most difficult part of the entire process. We started scraping online images for people who matched those same skin tones, which took a long time because there was no publicly available data sets for the 50 skin tone shade that we had. So there was a lot of conversation with various makeup artists and a lot of makeup users to build our data sets from the ground up. This was the most time-intensive process out of all the things that we would do, but it was also the one that helped us become more successful, and as we're able to, for our product to be able to be used by multiple people. We then trained our data on a CNN model using PyTorch on Google Colabs with GPUs in place. I think this was the easiest part of the entire process for us, because the hardest part was getting the data, knowing the problem, and then finding the solution to that problem. Training of the model was actually the least complicated part for us. Now, with the model trained, we deployed the model as both a web application for our consumer-facing product, so that users who can actually come in there, upload an image, and get results instantaneously, and an API that we can integrate into various other beauty chains' websites. Since we knew from the beginning that we wanted to scale our application very quickly and efficiently, we decided to leverage Google Cloud from the very beginning. And so all the processes that I've mentioned, all the technical processes that I've mentioned are built completely on Google Cloud. From trying to gain the data, acquiring the data sets, training the data using Google Colab and Google Cloud, deploying the models. And after all that is done, we use the feedback we gain from our users to make the products better and then go through the entire process again. So we just iterate again, get feedback, iterate again, get feedback, iterate again, and iterate and iterate. And that's how we've been able to survive as an early stage AI startup. To recap, the technologies that we've used to build roboMUA include Python. Everything is built in Python. We use the PyTorch deep learning framework for our machine learnings. We use the Python Flask for building our APIs and our web application. We use Google Colab to train the model. And then, like I said, everything is hosted on Google Cloud. And then Google Cloud App Engine is where our web application and APIs are deployed to. Now, in as much as building roboMUA has been a very fun process and a huge learning opportunity for me and everyone on the team, it has not come without challenges. The main challenge we experience is that the beauty tech industry is not as widely known as other forms of industry like the fintech industry or the agriculture industry. Even though it's massive, it still feels like a niche market. And so finding talent for the beauty tech industry is incredibly difficult. In addition, most of the beauty users are not very don't have an affinity for advanced technology. So getting them to try new products has been incredibly difficult. And even speaking with brands on how they can leverage our platform has been very challenging. So I would sum it up by saying that we've had huge adoption challenges, not from our perspective, but from getting people in the industry to try out our product. But then once they try it out, they love it and then they keep coming back and back. The other challenge we have is that, like I mentioned earlier on, there was no publicly available data sets for the 50 skin tones we were hoping to cater to. So we had to build our data from the ground up. And that was the most painful aspect of this entire process, because it's very hard to build a huge data set when you have a very small team with very limited resources, but then you want to cater to a huge population group so that no one feels left out. But then I think it's the most rewarding part of it all, seeing someone who would usually be left out of these types of conversations or these types of technologies be able to find our solution helpful for their situation. But then it's very difficult, right? Like scraping data images from images that match 50 different skin tones is incredibly difficult. And after that, you got to clean in the data. So, yeah, the data acquisition is not the most fun part of this process. Last but certainly not the least challenge that we've had is designing the technical architecture. Now, it's easy to build and train like a model for a project, and it's easy to build a very simple model in the Jupyter notebook or something that you can show and demonstrate for people to try out. But when you're building an application that has thousands of weekly users, it's a whole other conversation, right? There's so many things that you have to think about and put into perspective when you're building and scaling. And so we're very thankful that we knew cloud technology and we're able to leverage cloud technology to handle a lot of the scale of it, but also trying to come up with an architecture that can support multiple deployed machine learning models, and how that can make the user experience as quickly as possible has been a huge challenge for us.
Thank you so much for listening to us. Please feel free to check us out on our website or send us an email at info@roboMUA.com if you want to learn more or check out various social media pages.